this is going to be the episode where we get all of the drama from the Countess drunkenly assaulting police officers. Of all people, I would have never thought that it would have been her, but listen, stuff happens. Guys, I really feel like she went down there. She keeps on saying that she went down to Florida to be with her family. She went down there to watch that man. That's exactly what she did, and she got her feelings hurt, had a couple drinks, tried to drive herself home, got caught up with some cops, in all of her privilege was just like, you can't touch me, tried to fight the cops, and got embarrassed in the media. And it's just, it's just sad. It really, really is. So I'm kind of, like, I want to get into it because I know it's going to be juicy, but the human part, because I'm part human, no. But, like, you know, outside of just reviewing this, you know, I feel bad. I feel bad because it's, like, humiliating, and the show doesn't have her back. So to just, like, watch this all play out, I don't know. I'm kind of not ready for it, but listen, let's rip this Band-Aid off and go. Let's get into it. I will say this. This isn't the first time that Countess Luann was in some handcuffs, because the way she slipped those things off like it was nothing. She knew exactly what to do. And I was just like, Luann, are you a criminal or a freak? Or both? Oh, wait. Luann got locked up in the same jail that Tinsley was. What is up with this one little jail that keeps on locking up housewives? And you know what? And I don't like Tinsley, you know, trying to distance herself from Luann and like what she did. Although, you know, I got a mugshot and I had to stay in jail overnight as well. I'm nothing like Luann. I just got a misdemeanor. She has 4 felonies. Ma'am, listen, y'all both was in the locker or the clinker. What do they call it? Whatever, clink, clink. Oh, I just did Wakanda. Y'all both was locked up, okay? So neither one is better than the other. You can't take the high road on this one, ma'am. You should have went to jail for assault and battery because of what you did to that man, because I read the report. He said, the guy, if y'all find the report, her boyfriend said that she wailed on him. Tinsley beat that man like he stole something from her. So let's not try to take the high road here, ma'am. You are, you know, just as grimy as the Countess. Own it. I mentioned this before. Ramona, I don't think she's jealous of Bethenny. I think she is resentful of the fact that Bethenny's business and all of her ventures and how wealthy she is and how business savvy and smart she is has been made a central part of her storyline. You know what I mean? And Ramona has put her life out there, but not so much her business. So now this season, we're seeing a lot of contention between the two, but we're also seeing Ramona now, in a sense, pulling a Bethenny, because almost every scene is about her businesses and what she's doing and how much of a you know, savvy businesswoman she is and how she doesn't need the money. She doesn't have to work because she's made such good business choices and deals in her lifetime that she doesn't really need it. When Bethenny was, you know, working at JCPenney, she was already a successful businesswoman. So I think now that we're getting this battle, I don't know if we will ever have the both of them being in a cordial place again, because Bethenny doesn't like anybody trying to come for her business at all. And she can only exist in a space with someone if you are not on her level. We got to be real with that. Bethenny can't hang with people who are on her level or above her and have it be like a close relationship, because there's always some sort of battle. Like Ramona has always resented that has been a part of her storyline. But my thing is, you can't get mad at Bethenny for doing what you should do on a reality TV show. Since day one, the girl was hawking Skinny Girl. And Ramona trying to play catch up and trying to, like, you know, match her is impossible at this point. She's been doing this for over 10 years. She came on this show with a plan, and I always say it, if you're going to do reality TV, get something out of it, go in with the plan. And Bethenny did that, and she's very successful because of it. Like, every shot, if you go back and look from season 1, every shot is a Skinny Girl. With Bethenny, something about Skinny Girl. She's talking about it. She's posing with some kind of product. She's doing whatever she can. This season, she's hawking her jeans, whatever it is. She knows that this is an hour-long commercial for her brand, and she is going to use this time wisely. I can't get mad at the girl, and Ramona shouldn't either, just because she made a smart decision. And if you're a smart businesswoman, you should have followed suit. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Bethenny's poor driver, I swear he knows everybody's tea. That man just wants to get a check. He wants to get Bethenny to where she needs to go, and he wants to go home to his family. Bethenny is a lot of work for that poor man. I remember last season when she was telling him that she was dying, and she was like having vaginal bleeding, and she was like bleeding all over this pillow, and I'll never forget it. She handed him the bloody pillow and was like, can you do something with this? And I was just like, man, this dude needs this check. Because he was like, okay, sure. You know what I mean? I thought that was very sweet that he helped her out in that moment. But Bethenny is just a lot. She is a lot. She is always dumping on this guy. And I hope that she is paying him more than what his driving fee is. She needs to also be paying him for therapy sessions. Because that's what this man has been doing since he's been on this show. Since she set her tiny behind in his car, he has been a driver, a therapist, a babysitter, a stylist, you know, a mentor. He's been everything to Bethenny. And I hope that she is paying him handsomely, because he deserves it. Because it couldn't have been me. I would have, like, I'm telling you, 3 days in, I would have gave my 1 day notice and been like, you know what, honey, this isn't for me. Because I remember not too long ago, Messy Wendy Williams read an ad that she had, I think it was in the papers, and she was looking for an assistant that could handle essentially a very difficult person. And Wendy Williams is going in about how she doesn't like Bethenny, because I believe that she met her outside of her show when it was doing well, and Bethenny was very nasty. And then she came to the show and she was very high maintenance. So she went on and on about that. But I can see that. I can see her being very high maintenance. Still likable to me though. You know what I mean? Like, there are parts of Bethenny that I really do enjoy, but I know that personally, in my opinion, I could only meet her on the same page. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't meet her as the help. I couldn't meet her as myself right now. Unless I'm doing something with like Bravo, I think she would treat me differently. But you know what I mean? I feel like Bethenny is the kind of person who, if you are not in that tax bracket, you get treated a certain way. And I could be wrong, but from watching the show, that is my observation, that if you meet Bethenny, you gotta meet her in a certain tax bracket to get a certain kind of respect. If not, she's going to treat you a certain way. Because I highly doubt that if her and her driver were on, like, you know, equal playing field, that she would be dumping as much on him as she does. You know what I mean? And I think because, you know, the guy got to keep his job. Same thing with her assistants. They, you know, they sit there and they listen to all their stuff. They, you know, they listen to her talk about these women, and it has to be draining. But they need a check. I will say this though. I love her hair. This scene with her and her driver slash therapist, this hair is, in my opinion, the best hair that Bethenny has ever had. I think she added a couple little weave clips. It looks good. It really looks good. It really fits her face. Sometimes parted down the middle doesn't work for her because she's thinning a bit, and I understand because I am too. Not thinning, but this is I'm natural, but I used to wear weaves, and any you know, sister who's ever worn weaves know you got to do that little leave out section. And this like hair right here is heat damage, so it's significantly thinner than the rest of my hair, so I never wear it straight parted down. If I wear it parted down the middle, I always pull it back in a kind of ponytail, because the hair density is not the same within the rest of my hair. And I think that's what's happening with Bethenny. I don't know if her hair is over processed. That could be it, but that, especially with a lot of women, when we over process our hair or add too much heat to it, this section right here is the section that starts to thin out the most. So the side part is always your best friend. So keep that side part, Bethenny. If you're going to continue pressing out that hair, side part, sis. Side part. Where has Bethenny been shopping? Because she's talking about her jeans, and she's just like, it's all inclusive. Plus size jeans are on the same rack as, you know, the zero size jeans. Isn't that how clothes always, aren't they all on like the same rack? They just go from smallest to the large. Have I been shopping at like poverty stores? Do the rich shop differently? Let me know in the comment section below, because I thought it was always like that. But then again, I'm middle class. Some days below the poverty level. Welcome to being a full-time actress. There goes that word again. Female empowerment, please. That word needs to be taken. It needs to be banned from each and every reality TV show, because these shows are not women's empowerment, and we don't watch them for that, okay? We have other channels. We have OWN, where we want women's empowerment. We don't watch Bravo for women's empowerment. We know we're not going to get it. We're going to get somebody throwing a drink in somebody's face. We're going to get somebody snatching a wig. We're going to get shade and reads, and that's what we're here for. Please stop with this women's empowerment, because y'all don't do this. Y'all are, and it's essentially a terrible representation of women, to be quite honest with you. But I mean, you turn it up for TV, so I totally understand, but I can't. Now Bethenny's jeans are women's empowerment. I feel like Bethenny, her jeans are like brands during Pride. Like, there are brands that say nothing about the LGBT community, but as soon as Pride hits, everything that they have is rainbow. All of their, McDonald's. I've never seen McDonald's say anything about the gay community, but now they have rainbow fries, and everybody changes their banner to something rainbow, and I'm like, it's all about whatever is hot right now and capitalizing on that as a brand. Women's empowerment is the thing right now, especially in the wake of Me Too. So it's just like, my jeans empower women. How? How do your jeans empower women? I'll wait. I will wait. But I'm not going to wait too long, because I'm probably going to die because you don't have an explanation. There is no explanation for women's empowerment jeans. Really? They didn't tell her not to say that in the brainstorming meeting, because that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, they're cute jeans. I think the jeans she had on was cute. But the jeans that were displayed, I don't see... not saying there's not a market for it. I feel like the market for it is not in New York City. Like, the people who will be buying skinny girl jeans are probably like, in the Midwest. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the Midwest, but I'm just like, those jeans give me a Midwest Kohl's. Yeah. Or like a Trenton, New Jersey Filene's basement. It's still a customer though, but I just don't think it's the customers that she's marketing to. But you won't get a good coin. And sis, please make them affordable, because real talk, that your audience is not Manhattan. It's not. Sonja, sober or intoxicated, is just a fun character. She is a really fun character. Just seeing her having a good time at Bethenny's jean release party or whatever, I liked it. You know what I mean? It was a meaningless scene, but it was just Sonja having a good time. She gives off such good energy when she's in a good place, so much that the people, like the servers, were just like, the energy was transferring over to them, and they were just like, there was one scene where she's just shaking, and the guy is just like, he just starts shaking, having a good time, because she is, and that's the type of person that she is. And you need somebody like that in this really intense kind of group. But I love her joy. I really, really do. She has her moments where she can walk up my back, but I really do like her. She is a fun person to watch. She seems like she would be a very fun person to be around, and I'm happy that she's making changes for her life to just be a better person all the way around. So I'm glad that she's no longer drinking. I'm glad that she's even trying veganism for a minute, although she went to shellfish. I'm not vegan, so I don't know. I am on my little vegetable diet, but I have my meats when I need to, because I'm also working out as well. And listen, the rent is cheap when you live by a train. It's the truth. So, I still do. Thank you, Amtrak. But concerning a workout, I gotta have some meat at some point. So I don't know. I don't know if it, how a vegan diet makes you feel. I couldn't tell you. But I like whatever she's doing, because she's in a good place. I like Sonja when she's in a good place. I hated her meltdown seasons, because it was just heartbreaking to watch. It really, really was. Because I feel like she's just a really good person. Now, I don't know how her ex-husband feels about her, especially with that rumor about her and that man in the south of France or whatever. But from what I've seen on the show, I really like me some Sonja. Okay, now Dorinda is my girl, and if you watch this, you know that already. I don't like how she's backtracking with Bethenny. Dorinda was hurt. She told all the ladies in the house except for Bethenny. And now when Bethenny confronts her about it, because Bethenny does that manipulation thing, she's like, oh, I'm so hurt about it. I didn't have a good Christmas. I'm going to start crying. So Dorinda automatically feels bad or whatever. So she takes back how she was feeling and throws Carol under the bus. And I did not like that. Yes, Carol did mention that. But Dorinda, you were talking to the ladies about that nutcracker situation. First of all, it's hella petty. I do agree that, Bethenny should have given her a vocal apology. a vocal thank you. I felt like in the moment she wanted that, but Dorinda didn't say anything. The girl can't read her mind, so how was she supposed to know? And I think Bethenny felt like she had said thank you a billion times already. So in her mind, she was just celebrating the fact that the Nutcracker was there, right? I'm not making an excuse for her, but when I watched, that's what I saw. But Dorinda never mentioned to Bethenny that it bothered her. She told everybody else, and to throw Carol under the bus for that was wrong. It was absolutely wrong, because now you're in front of Bethenny and you're taking everything back, and then you and then you're puffing up in your confessional. But you should have said that to Bethenny, because now she's upset at Bethenny because Bethenny used Puerto Rico against her, which was wrong. I don't like that. We're talking about a different situation. Don't bring up a situation that we've already moved past to try to hurt me because you don't like that I didn't like how you made me feel. I feel like they were both wrong in this situation, but I was really disappointed in Dorinda for not telling Bethenny the truth. But I think it was because Bethenny was emotional and it was her event. She just wanted her to feel good, so she took the low road. And this situation was just like, you know what, I'll be the doormat. But that was the opportunity for her to tell Bethenny the truth and how she felt. Or maybe just say, you know what, I'm here to support you. Let's get tea tomorrow and talk about it then, but I don't want to get into it right now. I think that would have been smarter, because then we would have probably got the truth from Dorinda. But because I felt like she felt ambushed in a situation where it's her event, she's getting emotional and she's about to cry, and she just wants her to be okay because she doesn't want to make her feel bad at her event, and she also doesn't want to be the girl that made Bethenny cry at her jean launch. You know what I mean? I see both sides, but I was just really disappointed in Dorinda at that moment. I'm just like, you could have handled that differently, and Carol didn't need to be brought up at all. All the other ladies too, like she's throwing them under the bus, like she didn't talk to the ladies about the situation. She talked to everybody about it but Bethenny. She probably talked to Bethenny's driver about it, because everybody gets therapy from that dude. He better be getting paid nicely. Bravo, are y'all paying him? Give him a check too. Y'all using his image. Kind of bothering me just a bit with how the ladies are talking about the Luann situation. It's just like, oh my goodness, she went down there where Tom was. I can't believe it. Why would she do that? Ladies, woman to woman, y'all knew exactly what she was doing. Why are y'all playing dumb? Like y'all didn't know that Luann was going down there because she's not over this dude. She wanted to see what he was doing. She got lit, probably got into an argument with him, left there, got even more lit, and then ran into the cops. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop acting like y'all probably wouldn't have did the same thing with your newly divorced like ex. You would have done something like that as well. I don't know if I would have done it, because I feel like when I'm done with a dude, I'm done. But I ain't never been married. You know what I mean? I don't know how that feels. So, like, you know, be madly in love with someone and then it, like, ends. You gotta take some time to heal. One of my really good girlfriends, you know what? I feel like I put her business out here so much. But she watches and she approves. We were talking and she was just like, because I was talking to her about the episode where Bethenny was trying to compare what Dorinda went through, and I was more team Dorinda, and she wasn't more team Bethenny, but she gave me an understanding about how a divorce could be a death, and how, you know, she had been in mourning for a few years before she was even open enough to go out on like a casual date with a dude. But she was explaining to me about how that's a pain that you can't explain. So, yeah, when that pain, I guess, that Luann was feeling met up with the alcohol, it just got magnified and she was out of control. But I just don't like how the ladies are acting so shocked and surprised. Are you really that? Tinsley, you did the same thing. So how are y'all shocked and surprised? Y'all knew what she was doing. I think for the sake of the storyline, y'all just want to act like it's something you can't fathom. Sitting up there acting like you don't know what's going on. Y'all knew exactly what Luann was going to do when she told y'all that she was going down to Palm Beach for Christmas. It was also around the time when she got married. You know what I mean? So how could y'all not, like, nah, don't play me. Woman to woman, y'all knew what was going down. Y'all just shut up, drink your little bourbons at Bethenny's party because you knew it was going to be the scene of the season. Let's not play. Play checkers, not me. So Bethenny and Carol finally have their meeting, and Carol is dressed like Steve McQueen, and Bethenny is dressed like Snuffleupagus. I'm like, what are they in the same season? What is going on? Because Carol is giving me fall and Bethenny is giving me like Canadian winter. So I'm not making this a big deal, but I do want to point out that Bethenny has gotten blackout drunk a lot on the show. specifically this season. I don't know about any other seasons, but this season she has mentioned a few times that, you know, she's like, she even at this dinner, she says that she's hungover. She woke up in like her weave extensions, or what? See, because I'm trying to use, you know, universal language. Her weave was in a bag of chips, and she was just like, I'm in so much pain, and I'm like, is everything okay? Because listen, there's drunk and then there's blackout drunk. And that is the alarming one. When you don't know what happened or what you did, like you 21 years old in college. Nah, ma, you are in your 50s with a young child. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know what's going on there, but maybe we'll get more of that later in the season. Because also at the Berkshires, she didn't know how she ended up in somebody else's bed. And I'm like, remember guys, she said she took an Ambien and she ended up in like Dorinda's bed or something like that. She was also drinking. I don't know a lot about Ambien, but I do know that a lot of rich white people out in Hollywood use it as like a, you know, Coke's cousin, okay? So I do know that it's something that is highly abused, right? And I do know that you shouldn't mix it with alcohol. And that seems to be something that Bethenny does on a regular. And she has these like blackout moments. So I'm like, okay, we're focusing on Luann. We need to also be watching Bethenny. Because this is the second time that I've noticed that she said this, that she has drank or whatever and had an Ambien or something and she doesn't know how her night went. And I'm like, you got way too much going on in your life to have this happening all the time. You know what I mean? This is just, it's irresponsible behavior, but I feel like it's irresponsibility coming out of some type of pain that we haven't, you know, gotten into yet within the season. And I think maybe we'll find out more about it. Maybe it'll come up at the reunion. But when she said that, I was just like, I don't think that's okay. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, I don't drink, right? Okay, so this is also coming from somebody who has never had any type of alcohol. Have I had any alcohol? Besides mouthwash. I didn't know until I was watching an episode of Intervention that mouthwash is alcohol. No, I'm not laughing. But there was a lady who was getting drunk off of some Listerine. So that's about it for me. So I don't know if this is something that is normal. If it's not, let's talk about it. Because when she mentioned it, I was just like, Bethenny, I don't think that's good. I don't. Let me know, guys. Let me know. It's really sad that Carol and Bethenny are in their 50s and they're letting some dude that was born in the 80s break up their friendship. Like, some 34-year-old dude has come between your mature friendship. I just feel like at that age, you guys should have been through all the girl drama. You know what I mean? All the stuff that society puts on us, all the stuff that we put ourselves through. It should just be established at this point that it's just like, I know what the mess is and I can move past that and have a really healthy relationship with women. And it's just sad. It really, really is, because their issue is just Adam. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but listening to their conversation, I'm siding with Bethenny a bit. And here is why. Ladies, when you break up with your dude and you are in that space where you're talking about him, you know, you and your girlfriend start, you know, saying all stuff about him. He was broke anyway. He wasn't that cute. You did him a favor. You're all into it, right? You need to let us know when you're taking that dude back. And that is what I think happened with Bethenny and Carol. Carol had broken up with Adam or whatever, didn't like how he was doing, because she was even talking about him with Tinsley. Didn't like what he was doing. So it seems like they had been having conversations about him, and then this one conversation, Carol felt some way because she had started sleeping with Adam again. And that's not fair to Bethenny. Let me know that you done got back with the dude that I'm dragging all of a sudden. And that's why I never get into it with, you know, my girlfriends and their relationships with their mates. You know what I mean? I don't even, like, one of my child, still putting her business out there. It's a different one though. One of my really good girlfriends is going through a divorce. I ain't saying nothing about the spouse. Nothing. I'm keeping my mouth shut because there is real love and passion there. And I don't, no matter what I think, because I've been thought some things about this person, and because they could probably still get back together. And then who's she gonna be mad at? Me? You know what I mean? She is going to X herself out of the conversation that we done had, dragging her ex. You know what I mean? When they start, messing around or whatever. So I've learned to just stay out of those situations. You can't even say whatever you want. You can call him a busted up milk dud, watermelon head, idiot who who barely graduated from ITT Tech. Say whatever you want, girl. I'm not gonna co-sign on that. I'm just gonna check in on you and see how you feel, because I know I've learned that you always somehow slip back up and end up with that dude, and then you get mad at me because we sat in conversations and dragged that dude for filth. And you might think you're being a really good girlfriend by dragging the dude that hurt her and lifting her up or whatever. That's a way that we have learned to lift up other women, to drag the man that hurt her, to just be like, oh, you can do better. He was using you anyway, girl. I can hear the conversation that they were having. He was an opportunist, Carol. And I didn't want to say anything because you were so in love with him, but I knew that he was using you. And girl, you could do better. You are a Radza-Will. You are everything, sis. You don't need that. You got great metabolism, okay? You got a great shoe collection. You don't need no bum who can't even make a dumpling. I know the whole conversation. I know Bethenny read him for filth and probably prior conversations, and Carol probably chimed in. But when she start, accepting that 33-year-old peen, all of a sudden her feelings changed, and then she didn't like what Bethenny was saying without letting Bethenny know that, oh, we're back together. And so I can side with Bethenny on this one a bit, because I'm just like, I've been there. I understand. If you don't make it clear that you and this dude are back together, how can you get mad at me for having a conversation we've been having prior? Because Bethenny didn't just call Carol that day and just start dragging Adam. They've been talking about him since they've been breaking up and getting back together and all that stuff, because that's what girlfriends do. Let's not act brand new here, Carol. And y'all know I like Carol, but I don't like this. You know what I mean? Like, Bethenny didn't know that you guys are broken up. So she's going in on the dude that supposedly hurt her really good friend, and she doesn't know that you're sleeping with him again. You know how she knows that Carol is banging Adam again? The way Carol responds. And now they got beef. It's not right. Carol needs to take that back. She needs to apologize to Bethenny and just be like, you know what? I didn't let you know. You were not aware, and I just didn't like things that were being said about him because we were back together, and I'm sorry. I didn't let you know, and I knew that you were saying some things to me now that we were broken up that you didn't feel comfortable saying when we were together. I get it, and I understand. I love you too, sis. Let's move forward. But Carol's trying to hold her ground in this conversation, and I'm just like, no. Bethenny really came to this conversation to save her friendship. She really, really did. From what I've seen so far, I'm Team Bethenny in this argument. What do you guys think? I'm still watching it, so it may change towards the end of this conversation. But I'm a side with the friend. I'm a side with the friend, because this is what happens with women. When we are breaking up with a dude, we are dragging him to hell and back with our girlfriends. Then all of a sudden we start getting sensitive because we sleeping with this dude again and we ain't told our girlfriends. No, let your clique know that you are back with the bum so they can hold off on those comments and not be judging him anymore or dragging his new chick on Instagram. In Facebook. Listen, the early 2000s were a wild place, man. Remember when Facebook had just started and it was so messy? Yeah, that was the days, man. I told y'all I was still watching. Now, I agree with Carol, because we all watched that scene last week. Bethenny was being petty. She was being gossipy. She wanted to talk about Carol and the Adam situation, so she brought it up. She seemed sad. Doesn't she? Yeah, it was probably the breakup with that. Like, you were trying to get, some tea. You were trying to drop some tea. You were trying to get some tea, and you and Carol were on the outs, and you're mad at Adam. So you were just being petty. And Carol was saying, if you're my friend, you know I don't talk to them broads about my personal business. So why would you bring that up? We've never done that before. Why are you doing that now? I just feel like, man, I feel like so many relationships are ruined because people are just not honest. And I'm telling you, if you start off with honesty, you can get over things. You can move past things so quickly. As long as it's not like too damaging, I feel like you can move forward. If Bethenny would just been like, you know what? You're right. I was upset. I really was upset. And I felt like, you chose Adam over our friendship. And I felt like you were in a bad place with this guy that was, playing with your emotion. And I felt like you were sad because you were getting played by some dude and I wanted to talk about it. And I couldn't talk to you about it, so I brought it up with the girls. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. I know Carol would have been receptive to that and just would have been like, oh, I get it. But we're establishing now that we're in a good place, so just talk to me about it. Because we don't do that to each other. We've never did that. Oh, they're so petty. And you know, they're still fighting on Twitter. I hate to see middle-aged people fighting on Twitter. No tea, no shade. And I'm not saying that Twitter isn't a place for everybody. I just feel like when you are established and a parent, I don't need you on Twitter blocking people, retweeting nasty comments about others. It's just, it looks so pathetic. It really, really does. It's just like you acting like you 13 years old. A 13-year-old would do something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you do something terrible, you regret it. You don't keep a tweet there or something. You know, you think about, even now, you think about when you're an adult, especially when you're an adult on Twitter, you think about things now. You know, unfortunately, some of us grew up with freaking Twitter. So, you know, our early tweets, ciao. I saw a tweet that I had tweeted when I was like, early, like late teens. Was I 19? Was I 19? I think it was like 19 to 20. And I looked at that and I was like, oh, what an idiot. You know what I mean? And so, but now I'm older and wiser, still fine. I think about things differently. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, somebody says something nasty to me, I'm not going to respond back to it. It's just like, mute, move on. I don't need to deal with it. But so I just really hate that these ladies are, you know, middle-aged, established women fighting with each other on Twitter of all places. Like, really? Can you leave that to the junior high tweeters? Because that's where it belongs. I feel bad for this relationship because Carol is trying to explain what's going on. Bethenny is over-talking her the whole time. And I think what's happening here is that Bethenny has very fun, catty, and volatile relationships with the other ladies. Like, she can blow up on Countess Luann, call her a whore for 8 hours, and then they'll be cool. She can have a knockdown, drag-out fight with Ramona and then make up crying in a pool in Mexico. It's not the same with Carol. Carol really hurts. You know, I'm not saying the other ladies don't hurt, but Carol is a bit more sensitive and she doesn't get over things as quickly as the other ladies do. And I think they get over stuff quickly because they've been doing this with each other for 10 years. So they know how it goes, right? And they know when it's show and they know when it's real. And I don't think that Carol has yet established that yet. I don't necessarily know if she's playing the game with her relationship with Bethenny. I think some other things she's starting to, you know, get hip to it, and this is what you do on these reality TV shows. But I think with her relationship with Bethenny, for her, was the real deal. And I think it was a real deal for Bethenny as well, but Bethany's at work. You know what I mean? She knows what she's doing when these cameras are on. And I just think that Carol got hurt, real hurt, by what was happening with her and Bethenny. But I still feel bad for her because she was trying to talk and explain herself, and Bethenny just talked over her, and I didn't really see a resolution. I really, really didn't. I didn't think that Carol was okay with Bethenny in her mind. I felt like she was kind of, this is just what it is. And yeah, and I felt like Bethenny thought she got her friend back. But what I was watching, I was just like, you didn't get your friend back. You got a coworker now. You lost your friend and you just got a coworker. It sucks because just like, ladies, we cannot end our friendships over dudes. Men will come and go, but your sisters, they'll always be there. And I'm telling y'all, I learned that from my grandmother. She was like, listen, make sure you got a strong sister community. Like, I have sisters, but she meant like, you know, you got a strong community of women because we are our greatest source. And we are going to need each other in this life because this world ain't fair to us. And I've always held that to be very true. Like, it's been easier for me to have relationships with men. It's always been a challenge working on my relationships with women. And before I used to shy away from it, just be like, you know what, I'm just a tomboy. I'm just going to be that chick that has more guy friends than girls. When I got older, I realized how necessary it was to have a community of women, especially today. So I really work on those relationships. I remember one of my really good friends, we just had reached a point in our relationship where we were just arguing over every little thing. And then we finally sat down and we like hashed out our issues or whatever. And I just was like, listen, I love you. This, whatever we're dealing with, is not important. It doesn't outweigh my love for you, and it doesn't make me want to end our friendship. Like, I'm here because I want to work on this, because you are somebody who's very important to me and somebody who I love. And I had never like really done that before, but I think I realized that I'm not 17 anymore where I could just walk away from a friendship and just be like, whatever, I don't really need that heifer. You know how we are, right? Especially when we're young. You know what I mean? When we're 3 years into our period, we feel like we know everything. But now, as a woman, I look at relationships totally different. And I realized that that was a very important friendship that I needed in my life, because that friend bettered me in so many ways. And same thing with my girlfriends that I grew up with. Like, we would get into nasty arguments where we wouldn't talk to each other for like months. That was when we were kids. We don't do that now. We realize how very important it is. You know, half of us are married with children, and then half of us are still like creatively performing, pursuing our careers. And at any given time, we need each other. We really, really do. So it's just unfortunate that this friendship is breaking up over a dude, because that should never be. A man should never come in between your sisterhood, ever. So I want to be friends with Tinsley. She hooked Sonja up, and I forgot how mean Sonja was to her. Like, I remembered how mean Sonja was to her, but I forgot how ugly it got when they showed that clip. Shady Bravo editors, they showed that clip of Sonja like going off on Tinsley about the door, or her assistant. Her servant, okay? Them indentured servants that she has working at that dilapidated mansion. Anyway, I forgot how mean she was. I really did. I didn't know the depths. I didn't remember the depths of it, but I knew she was mean to her. And even when you guys were fighting back and was just like, no, Tinsley wasn't grateful, I was like, nah, Sonja was overboard. She really wasn't. That clip proved me right, because there's no reason for her to have yelled and talked to Tinsley like that. And then for Tinsley to go out of her way and really, you know, set her up nicely. This was really, that penthouse, gagging, gorgeous. She gave her a Louis Vuitton bag. Sonja can't say another damn thing. She needs to shut all the way. Be thankful and shut up. Don't bring it up again, because she went far beyond what she needed to do. And now I'm going to try to work my way to becoming her friend, because I need a penthouse stay when I go to New York for DragCon, darling. Are you guys ready? I'm so ready. So this episode ends with a call from the Countess from rehab, where she is finally dealing with her issues, and she's talking about what happened that night. She said that she basically went to everywhere that her and Tom visited when they were married or dating, or, you know, making that transition into being together for the rest of their lives. And she was drinking, you know, just going back, reliving things. It just wasn't healthy for her to go back. You know what I mean? Because it was still fresh, and she just was reliving all of those things, and all of the hurt and the pain and the disappointment, and then the love and everything runs back. And I know she went back there to try to see him. I know she did. Or just have him see her looking good. You know how we do. You know how we do. So it was nice to see her healthy again in her confessional, and just talking about the situation, and just getting in front of it, which is a smart thing to do. And I'm glad she got the help that she needed. I really am, because she came back like everything was okay, and we all knew it wasn't. Everybody knew it wasn't okay, but it took this to happen for her to like get the help that she needs. And I'm glad she did. I really am glad she did. I'm interested to see how she's going to be for the rest of the season. So I don't know if she's going to start drinking again on this show. I don't know if she's like sober in it. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see how she interacts with these ladies now that she's like going to be like out of rehab, and, you know, having been in something very public and negative outside of this show. So I don't know what kind of countess we're going to get, but I'm interested to see who we're going to end up with for the rest of the season. So next week is Bobby's funeral. Y'all, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But I do want to point this out. Bethenny. Jill is sitting here crying, right? Like, just destroyed. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And Bethenny, I'm alone too. Ma'am, it's not about you, Bethenny. I just feel like she's been through so much in her life. I don't think she knows how to be a friend. I really, really don't. And I'm not making any excuses for her, but I don't think Bethenny knows how to love other people. Outside of Brynn, I don't think she knows how to really be there for others. I haven't seen it, and I don't think it's something that she's actively trying to do, you know, to like be terrible to people. I just think that she's had her upbringing just made her very callous, and it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And then we get to see Luann fresh out of the pen and her journey. I'm hoping that she's not going to try to play it cool. Like, oh, it's okay, I was just in jail, but I'm getting myself together. I'm hoping that we don't get that. And I think we're getting something with Tinsley and her embryos. I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting episode. This episode was okay. I felt like it was a filler to prepare us for next week's episode because I feel like it's going to be a very emotional episode, and I'm here for it. I really like this season. I feel like this season is giving us everything that we really need and want from these reality TV shows, these housewife reality TV shows. So I'm here for it. I'm going to stick with it for the rest of the season. You guys seem to really enjoy it, and I totally appreciate it. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week for the following episode of The Real Housewives of New York. Love you guys. Bye.